Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing, and we're talking about bag work and having a purpose with it. So today's purpose is to be able to use the bag's movement as a way to set up your strategy. One of the don'ts I talked about in the first video is being that stationary person, just hitting the bag and not moving your feet. Fighting is about being dynamic, moving your feet, putting yourself in an advantageous position to beat your opponent. So we're going to use the bag to improve different types of ring control and different types of movement that happen in your fight. Remember, bag work is not just to get tired. Use bag work as a tool to improve your fighting, to improve your sparring, to improve your conditioning overall. Okay? So today's work, bag work for movement. One of the biggest mistakes people could make when they're doing their bag work is staying stationary. Not only is it a mistake to stay stationary on bag work, but fighting in general. So let's use the bag to improve our footwork that we're gonna use in sparring, that we're gonna use in our fights, that we're gonna use in our drilling. And if you watched a few videos back, we talked about enter and exiting, and footwork, again, is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing when it comes to fighting. If you can't control the distance you are to your opponent, you can't land strikes. Defensively, it helps you get, a longer career by not getting hit. So the first round we're gonna do in this series is we're gonna use the bag as a stationary target. And this is where we're gonna build in our triangle stepping. I've talked about it from our very first episode. The key to this is you can pick any combination in this round. You might not even have to throw a strike in general. Just getting the footwork and doing 3-minute rounds or a 5-minute round if you're an MMA fighter will toughen up your legs and condition your calves to be able to move for that time. So I'm just gonna pick a basic combination, which is gonna be jab, cross, hook, kick. I'm gonna exit out into my triangle, and then I step in again. The idea is I don't want this bag to move, so control your footwork and work around it. Round one. Make sure you change both directions. Okay, for this round you can change the combination, you can do whatever you want, but if you want to keep it basic, pick one combination and do it over and over again. So round two now is we're gonna work on moving forward and backwards, and we're gonna work on timing our opponent as they come in and out. So give you an example before I get into the flow. So if the bag's moving this way, I could follow. As the bag comes back, I adjust my distance. Okay? So I'm always keeping distance with the bag, being able to work in and out movement, okay? I might also have the strategy now, boom, to stop the person coming in now. So that's a different type of strategy. So I might push the bag, get it to move. I might back up, boom, and time my opponent coming in or the bag. Same thing, I can use my knees as it comes, boom. I'm using that forward timing in order to land an effective strike. I might even pull here. I might pull out, attack this way, and then come back in. And again, manage my distance using forward and backward motion. Let's start. Round three now, we're gonna work side to side, lateral movement. So now you're gonna be pushing the bag sideways, and now I have to learn to shuffle my feet with the bag. All right, you have two options. Quicker shuffles, they're better from that neutral stance. So I could move quicker if my feet are in this neutral stance. Okay, I can travel a lot better this way. Okay, now I could also stay in my stance. Whether I'm orthodox, I can be able to travel in my stance. So you have to make sure you shuffle. Remember, step one, if you watch my very first episode on the Bazooka channel, is never crossing your feet. The last thing you want to do is cross your feet. It puts you out of a structural position and doesn't really let you set your feet for good power. So lateral movement, so you can travel with the bag and move with it very easily, okay? Whatever, doesn't matter what stance I'm in. Now, I also want to work on time in the bag, especially with my kicks. As the bag reaches a point, as it comes back, that's when I want to do it. So this bag, I'm visualizing right now, because visualization with bag work is really important, is you need to make sure you think that this is your opponent against the ropes. Behind the bag are the ropes, so they can't move backwards. So this is why you want to punish them. Boom, coming in. If they're coming back this way, I use the timing of the bag to land a more effective strike. I can do the same thing with my punches. As it comes back, boom. As it's coming back this way, boom. I time it and get my good power shots in. Okay, let's get some flow. Okay, so round 4 now is about distance control. So instead of the bag moving, you're gonna control the distance. So I'm gonna talk about those 3 different ranges very quickly. Again, I have a video on this from before that you should watch before this. So long range means I can't hit anything. I'm in a safe range. Then I have my mid range. So from long range, I can step into mid range, which is my striking range. And finally, I have my in close range, my head-to-head range, where I'm using more of my hooks, my uppercuts, and my knees in this closer range. So this round, you need to be able to transition well from long range into mid range, into close range. So you decide where you want to do it. If you want to get even more advanced and you want to extend your bag work, you can do 1 full round at long range, 1 full round at mid range, and 1 full round on head to head. Maybe you're a stronger outside fighter and you need to work on the inside fighting. But the key to this round is being able to transition from outside to inside and inside to outside effectively. That's where the footwork component comes into play. Okay, so I'm gonna flow with different ranges. Okay, so the 5th and final round now is gonna be more of mid-range to close range fighting, but now we're gonna mix in our angles, okay? The last set of our footwork. So from here, I can use my shuffle step one way, okay? I can work my shuffle step the other way, okay? I could also use pivots. Okay? Any which way you want to create angles. This video isn't here to show you how to do angles. I'm just telling you it is a way to work it on the bag as a way to work your footwork. Okay? I will do a video in the future on how to use the angled shuffle step like we see Lomachenko do. And we're going to work all off of that neutral stance, pivoting, angling. But today, just know this is the round to work on it. Okay? Some good flow. Ush. 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 There you go. There's 5 different ways that you can use the bag to improve your footwork, to improve your movement, improve your distance control. So remember, bag work doesn't have to be this random thing that you do. Everything in bag work, everything in your martial arts development should have a purpose, not just your bag work, okay? So I always talk about it, I'll say it again, less running outside, work on this footwork, okay? This is the footwork you're gonna use in your fights, this is the footwork you're gonna work in your sparring, and if you have no partner, it's okay. Get on the bag, buy one at home, go to any random gym, they'll have that bag. So improve your martial arts on this bag, and it'll pay off in your sparring and in your fights.